Welcome to Quranic Connections. I'm Marina, your host and interviewer, on a mission to reimagine our perceptions of the Islamic world by painting a unified artwork of education, Islam, and community engagement. As someone dedicated to developing and designing curriculum content, I've taken on this role with the goal of fostering a meaningful shift in understanding the world around us. Today, we have the incredible Rawan joining us. Rawan is the founder of One of a Kind Skincare, recently recognized as Clean and Conscious Awards finalist for 2024, a purpose-driven business promoting kindness to ourselves, each other, and the world. What a wonderful purpose. While Rawan is expanding her business, she's always spreading kindness through her teaching. Today, she will share her insights into the connection between work in skincare, her commitment to kindness, and her role as an educator. A conversation exploring the intersection between community, Islam, and the workplace. So stay tuned for a meaningful dialogue ahead. Now that we've set the scene, let's hear from one of a kind, Rawan herself. So Rawan, how connected are you to community?
Firstly, I just want to say Salaam Alaikum. Thank you so much for having me on here. Honestly, I'm just so blessed that you've chosen me. I feel like just so excited to be on here because I always listen to podcasts and I think this will be a really good one. And I love the topics that you've chosen. So I think it's going to be a good...
We're lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. I missed your first question. Can you repeat that?
Okay, how connected are you to community?
Okay, so I feel like this is a really good question in the sense that community in my world involves a lot on Instagram. And as much as Instagram has had a negative stigma or a negative connotation to it, it's also served a really positive purpose for me. Because since I've started my business, I've been able to connect to really beautiful women who have had skincare issues or skin issues, but also other women who are in the business space that would like to grow and expand. And it's just been a really nice community in that sense. The other aspect that I've gotten from the community and connecting with the community was like my charity work. So like One of a Kind has always been about the Kind Project. So what that basically means is every month or every couple of months we donate to a charity, and it's a local charity that's in our community. So if you go through our website, you'll see what charities we've donated to, but just one that pops into my head is the Cystic Fibrosis charity, and that was due to my friend who had a little daughter, and she was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. And that allowed me to connect to that community because I was able to learn about the condition. I was able to raise awareness about what was going on and raise funds for that. So, and in that process, I was able to learn and connect with those people that were going through that, or the parents of the children who had that condition. So it's just so positive. Instagram has really allowed us to connect with groups of people and different people that we never thought was possible. And now with what's happening in Palestine, that's served a massive purpose. And I always get this thing in the back of my mind that, okay, I'm a skincare business, I shouldn't talk about Palestine, but I just can't. I feel incredibly guilty if I don't. Especially having a Palestinian background and being Palestinian, my husband's Palestinian. So I feel like it's my duty to use my platform in a good way. And that has allowed me to connect to people who are also really passionate about Palestine and really passionate about human rights. So in that sense, Instagram has really allowed that, and that's become my community. So I always call it the Kind community, because we're all about promoting kindness and peace and, sharing, raising awareness about important issues.
You do exactly that all the time.
Doing good work.
And I see
Thank
it.
you.
I see
honestly,
it all the time.
Really, really try.
I do. I see it all the time. Even your posts are always so kind, and they're always reminding us to be kind to ourselves in all ways of life, just like you said, through your charities, through what's happening in Palestine right now, and your skincare, which is not so much your skin in, I find that when you're spreading your kindness, and it's not so much your skin care, but it's a holistic approach of who you are, and looking after yourself. And that's very important. I mean, it reminds you,
and that's
it
what it's
reminds you
been
who you
about.
are, it
Yeah,
reminds you. And it's a fascinating how you used Instagram as your avenue to community. That's
exactly.
pretty
For
cool.
me, I'm a very like personally, I'm a very introverted person, although I can be extroverted, but I'm not extroverted in a sense where I have a community or I have a group that I kind of belong to. It was more, I was able to cultivate that community through Instagram and really like connecting with people I never had
So
the
you're
chance
sort
to
of on a
before.
hunt to find people that are alike. So,
Yeah,
people
exactly.
that resonate with you in terms of kindness, in terms of spreading awareness, and you
Yeah,
found those
exactly.
people through
Yeah,
the platform of
a hundred
Instagram,
percent.
using
And
it in a positive way, which is amazing. It's not always a
yeah,
negative.
it's not always a negative, even though there is, especially I think with skincare, it can be a really negative space because it can make people really self-conscious of themselves and really like it can be a very egocentric business in that sense. But I've really tried to move away from that and really promote kindness to ourselves, kindness to each other, to the environment, to the community. And that's something I'm really passionate about.
You have just by the ingredients you're using, and even your photos that you upload, they're always so real. They're never
Thank
promoting
you
this
so much.
idea
Yeah.
of this impossible achievement, that we all aspire to,
Yeah,
all those airbrushed faces, and
exactly. Yeah.
it's very natural, it's very real. It's
Yeah.
They're all good things that you're putting onto your skin, and also good things that's spreading back into the land. So it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, it's pretty
Thank you
much
so
spreading
much. Thank
kindness.
you for
Yeah.
saying that. Yeah, really. And I've also really tried not to use like I feel like my growth as a business has really slow and there's multiple factors for that. But one of the factors I think if I had used like massive influencers,
Mm-hmm.
um, I would have grown bigger, but they don't align with my values. Not all of them align with my values. So I've stayed true to that. And
And
all of the people that I have used
mhm.
have, yeah, they truly like align with all the
This takes
values
us
that
back to
that I
literally
have. Yeah,
it takes us back
yeah,
to your focus on community. They don't align with your values. It doesn't fit into your sort of community idea of the people that
yeah,
you want to sort of deal connect with. So it just takes you
yeah.
back to that, really. It takes you
Exactly.
back to
Yeah, it
that.
really goes back to that. So yeah, we have like the people that I have used have always been people that are from diverse backgrounds, um, different communities, but also they also have the same values as me. Like their pages are always about kindness and so on. So I really look out for that when I am trying to align myself with someone or an influencer as
This is
such.
beautiful. It's a very beautiful perspective, and it's very different. Because a lot of the times, naturally, we always align our community with our religion or our culture. Yet you've aligned it with your
Mhm.
values in terms of kindness. And
Yeah.
that takes us to the next question, because kindness is one of the foundations of Islam,
Mhm.
and it's not separated in any way. It's the true
Yeah.
value of Islam. So how connected are you to Islam?
Islam, subhanAllah, is every single thing to me. Every, like, I cannot, I don't think there's an hour or a minute in my life that goes by where I'm not thinking about Islam. And I'm not just exaggerating this because I'm trying to show myself to be in a way that's not, it truly is. Like every time you look at the sky, I am reminded of Allah. Every time I like take a breath, I think about that because subhanallah, like it's it's a really in-depth question to talk about, but really it is such a beautiful thing. Like
I
Allah's
think you do
presence
it
is
every day, though.
everywhere.
Yes, you do it
Yeah,
every
it's
day.
in every breath, every minute of the day. We are constantly connected to. I mean, and what a gift that is to have in your life, and for all of us to have din. That you could be going through something bad and still say Alhamdulillah because it is the best thing for you. or having a really good thing and still say Alhamdulillah because it's a good thing. Allah's given you a blessing. So it's just like our deen is so beautiful because it impacts every single aspect of our life, every single minute, every single day.
Exactly right.
It's truly the most beautiful thing. And like subhanallah salah, like being able to pray 5 times a day and just really taking out that moment in your day to just really connect with Allah and connect with the religion. I think, yeah, subhanallah,
I think
Allah has given us
that's
a gift to be
lines
able to do
literally with
that.
your values right there, by connecting, by
Yeah.
standing and giving yourself those, that time is being kind to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's incredibly being kind to yourself. And then this impacts every other relationship that you will come across. So it will impact your family because you're kind to your family, they will be kind to you. They'll be
Exactly.
kind to people outside. If you're kind to your friends, it's just literally a constant snowball effect in the best of ways.
It's
So
beautiful.
yeah, it's subhanallah, it's so, so beautiful.
I like how you just
Yeah.
pretty much covered Islam as something that is everyday, without a doubt. It's not
Mhm.
something that is segregated to who you are as a
Yeah.
person, or to
Yeah.
the idea of it belongs only to my community or it belongs only to my prayers, but it's everything you do.
It's
And
everything.
that's exactly what Islam is.
Yeah.
And that's you've nailed it in that direction. It's amazing.
Yeah, subhanallah. And I really learned that. I recently came back from a trip from Umrah, and it really just solidified that feeling in my mind that it is everything. It's all around us. It's in every day, every step that we take. Like that is your chance to do dhikr. It's your chance to get closer. Every time you pray, every time you read the Quran, that's you're getting closer one step at a time. And that connection, you can always maintain it if you strive for it.
It's even
yeah,
naturally in your
subhanallah.
products.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's
And I try and implement that in my business. I try and always have that in the back of my mind that anything I do, I need to do with a good conscience and make sure it aligns with those Islamic values, because I really want my business to do good. I want it to benefit everyone who uses it, everyone who comes across it. So it's always in the back of my mind and it shapes that.
SubhanAllah, that's amazing. I see that happening. So it's true, it's real, and you highlighted that connection, and that's I think the most important aspect,
Yeah.
especially in this, in this podcast, that idea of connecting the 3 aspects, and the third aspect, which is workplace. How connected are you to workplace?
So workplace is a tricky one for me because I do 2 different things. So I work 1 day a week as a teacher, and then the rest of my time I spend on growing my business and making that work. And it's a tricky one because for me, I've grown into that mindset that alhamdulillah, like every day when I go to work, I do a good job at my job. So I'm connecting with students, I try and do the best that I can, but am I going to be coming home and still thinking about it and it taking up my life and consuming me? No, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to focus on other things in my life, which is my religion, which is my business and my family. So that's, if I'm going to say, am I connected to my workplace? I would not say I'm 100% connected because I feel like it's a superficial connection. Whereas,
would you say you can extract skills or extract benefits from the workplace though?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like I definitely feel like I have extracted skills and benefits, and I give as well skills and benefits to my students, and I do the very best that I can for them. But yeah, the connection isn't the same as it is to Islam or to my community, like my kind community or my business community, because that is coming from a place of like passion. And yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one to describe.
Yeah, definitely a hard one. I always look at it as a workplace sometimes could either end up being in a place where it's your passion and your drive, or start there and then you can sort of move away slowly if it doesn't serve you in a way of your growth, in your way of your values.
But
you can always, wherever you are in the world or whatever you do, you can always learn and gain skills, and applying those skills
Exactly.
elsewhere into the things that you love, So
Yeah.
has anything in your workplace sort of given you that step forward into community or Islam? Has anything sort of moved
Yeah.
from?
So yeah, so that ties in perfectly with what I was just about to say. So the the thing that I love about my workplace is that I get to work with non-Muslims,
Mhm.
and I do that like my students and my colleagues. They're all non-Muslim. I'm the only hijabi in my school. I'm the only Muslim person in my school, and that is a really amazing thing because I feel like I'm not doing dawah as such, but I am in a sense because I'm being as kind as I can and it's coming
Mhm.
naturally. It's not forced because I do love being there. And it's teaching them about Islam, it's changing that perception. So it does, like, that's what kind of keeps me. And subhanAllah, no matter how much I try and get out of teaching, I always end up going back in because I do feel like Allah really wants me to be there and there's a reason why I'm there. And me personally, I do feel like it's a really important job to teach, to show others what Islam is really like, and it's kind and it's beautiful and it's, really peaceful.
There you go.
Inshallah, I am
You're a
trying to do that.
representative of
Yeah,
society. You're a representing. You're representing
exactly.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So that's
exactly. That's right. So that's my biggest benefit, I think, that I take away because it teaches me a lot about being patient and about like always being not on my feet, but always making sure and reflecting, am I doing the right thing? Am I representing Islam in the best way possible? Always thinking about that, but also giving back and showing,
it's almost like
that
it's prayer
kindness
in
and
itself.
showing, yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it's prayer
exactly.
in itself. It's, you going out to the world, into the world, and practicing what you do 5 times a day, but in another version, in the version
Exactly.
of,
Yeah, exactly.
the practice version of it. I could stand and pray, but it's now the demonstration of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Islamic
The
person,
demonstration of the manners, the
the
adab,
embodiment.
the embodiment of what it truly is. And it changes that perception of what the typical or stereotype is of a Muslim woman, of a person who wears a scarf. So I think that's truly like why I love actually being there because it's really shaping that. Inshallah,
That's
Arab, I'm doing a
that's
good job at it.
I think you are. I think you are
I feel like it's
definitely.
a big responsibility.
Well, for you to highlight that and speak that out loud and be able to, be conscious of that, that in itself is beautiful. It's
Yeah,
what we want
thank you.
a lot of people, to give them hope and to inspire them to start thinking in that direction. Sometimes the workplace might be something that you're not really connected with, but what ways can we make it meaningful? And
Yeah.
this is exactly a purposeful way. It's meaningful, and it connects you back into the workplace through a different
Mhm.
avenue.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah. And I'm super grateful because I do, when I'm there, I love it. But yeah, I think what I was trying to say is that I've had to grow into that it doesn't consume me the way that
Mhm.
it did, when I was in my 20s, where
Mhm.
it was just like something I would be doing all the time, thinking about it would just consume every aspect of me. But with age now, it's like, no, but I have my religion that I need to really give more of my time, or do you know what I mean? Like it's
It's
like
a
a
balance.
holistic
It's finding
approach
the
to life.
balance. I think
Yeah,
I think
rather
when we're
than it
younger,
just being work.
I think when we're younger, we're very, ambitious and excited and overexcited, I think.
Yeah,
And we don't have a
yeah,
sense of direction, or, you know, this is we've studied that. We've put all
yeah,
our energy into university trying to study this, career path, and then we go into it and we give it all, and we don't realize that we sometimes need that balance, and we only realize that a little bit
yeah,
later, which is okay, because I
yeah,
think we need
yeah,
to
yeah.
go
It's a
through,
growth.
yeah,
Yeah,
we need to go through that to
it's a
grow.
growth
So
phase. Yeah,
that's beautiful, and I hope that the listeners can actually be inspired by that as well,
yeah. I hope so
especially,
too.
yeah, I think young and older ones, because sometimes people are still going through it before they get there, which is okay.
Exactly. That's right.
And
Hmm.
and you left us, can you leave us with a quote that you would like to share, like for us to ponder on maybe?
Oh, That quote
Anything. It
that
could be something
always,
that you sort of just come up with from your,
yeah. So I always say in my mind is hard work works. You cannot deny, and it doesn't matter what aspect in your life, whether that's religious, whether that's in your job, or whether that's in your personal relationships, whatever, is that if you work hard at something, you will be successful. It might take a really long time, but eventually you will get there. And what there looks like is unknown, but you've learnt so much that you will be successful at something. You will learn something and you will be successful. So it's a quote by Denzel Washington. It's only literally
But it
three
makes
words.
sense because
Hard
you could
work
start off with
works.
an image in your head,
But
but it doesn't mean that's the
yeah,
image you end up with, but it's
yeah,
still paid off in a way, like in a
yeah,
different way.
exactly. Like, and it's just that journey. You just learn through so much that you kind of, yeah, you just grow and you're just like, oh, I'm here now. And I've learnt this and I'm successful in a different way that I thought I would be, but here I am.
But
And
it
it's a
was your
different
hard
kind
work.
of,
It was your hard
yeah,
work to begin with,
hard work that got you there.
because
Yeah,
Allah
exactly.
subhanahu wa ta'ala sort of holds your hand for the rest of the way. But you need to,
Yeah,
you need to
exactly.
get there. You need to
Yeah. And you
aspire.
can't, yeah, that's right. And you can't do anything without Allah. Like, you need to have God, you need to pray, you need to, like, strive for Allah and strive for the deen to get to where you want to be. And I've learned that, truly, like, really applied that in my mind this year. And I really just said to myself, I need to strive harder towards my religion, towards my deen. And then, subhanAllah, like, things start improving in your life and you're like, oh wow, and it's because of that. It's because I was striving towards Allah,
It's your contentment as
for
well,
our deen and stuff.
it's your
Yeah,
contentment too.
exactly.
It all fits in. It's all like a
Yeah.
little puzzle and it just sort of makes its way in.
It all fits in, yeah, but it's the center. Like, it's deen and religion. Islam is the center of all of the little puzzles, and it all just connects nicely together. So I don't know if that's a good
Yes,
analogy,
it does
but
connect nicely in the kindest
I don't
way
know, it makes,
possible. I love that. And I
yeah,
love
it's
how
just,
you've
yeah,
ended it with that.
exactly.
And I really appreciate you being on this podcast, and
Thank you so much.
very inspirational, not only to me, but hopefully to the world to listen. Thank you so
Oh, thank you
much.
so much. I
And I wish you
truly
all
am
the
so
best
grateful.
for future endeavors. Thank you so much.
Thank you.